Alright, Colin Bunyan here, how's everybody doing? You alright? Good. I'm bringing you the new recipe for cornflake tart. The equipment needs fairly simple, just a mixing bowl, some scales, don't have to be electronic but I'm in the technological age, a small paring knife, a palette knife for cutting the pastry together, and a large dish to locate the tart. You're also going to need a teaspoon for the jam, but other than that... Okay, the ingredient list is fairly simple. We've got 200 grams of plain flour, we're going to use a teaspoon of this beautiful vanilla extract for the pastry, some caster sugar, 150 grams of butter. Not everything's going to be used for the pastry, it's going to be used for the sauce later on. You've got some raspberry jam, a couple of eggs, some crunching up cornflakes, and idiotic old me, I forgot the golden syrup as well. Now we're going to make the pastry. Fairly simple process here. 200 grams of flour, 100 grams of butter, and this has to be at room temperature. You cannot, in today's day and age, get away with butter from the fridge. It has to be soft, has to be at room temperature. Now I'm just going to slice the butter up into little chunks before I place it into the bowl, as you can see. Now I don't know how well you can see this technique, but all I do is I grab the butter and the flour, just rub it together, literally like that. So the flour coats the butter and you end up getting a fine sandy rubble. Now this needs to be done for about 2 or 3 minutes until the fat is totally absorbed and shortened out. Now you can see I'm doing it very, very quickly with the rubbing of the fingers. That's all it takes. It doesn't take terribly long to rub together. I'm going to break with tradition here, because it's a sweet tart. Just add a bit of vanilla, because obviously you want a sweet pastry, and then single egg, crack in like that. No, did it one-handed, you don't have to. And then I just cut it in with a palette knife, you know, just to get rid of all the soft squidgy part before you get in to form it. You don't want to overwork the pastry, and then all you do is grab this together, start to bind it. I'm going to add a little bit more flour to the mixture because it's not quite dry enough, it's a bit too sticky and tacky. You don't want that in the mixture, so I just add a bit more flour to the mixture. There, that's got it, that's got it. Like so. Until we have a beautiful, cohesive pastry. Like so. Okay, that is the cohesive pastry. Now all you do is we then grab some cling film, which I stupidly didn't mention in the equipment list. Without wanting to get too technical, it's a bit like when you go for a heavy duty workout at the gym. You work the fibres, in this case the fibres are gluten, and you want to give them time to rest before you work them again, otherwise you risk tearing them and you end up with a really dodgy pastry. Okay? Now, mercifully, in the style of Blue Peter, here's what I prepared earlier. Right, just need to quickly create a bit of space. You need to flour the surface lightly and just press down gently. Not too hard at first, press it down, get the disc, get a rolling pin, which again I forgot from the equipment list. Not terribly organised today, I have to say. Just gently roll it out. One way, then the other, that way you don't get any cross-threading. Just nice and steady. You want to roll this out to about the thickness of a £2 coin. I prefer to go slightly thinner, because I'm not a huge fan of crust. I like the idea that pastry should provide a base rather than the main taste. Once you've rolled out the pastry, and I have to say, oh, that does look pretty damn good, if a little thicker than I like on the edge. You need, whoa, easy. That shows you it's supple and good nick. Give it a butter on that. Grease the tip. Now, just use the old margarine wrap or butter packet and just grease this big time. You want this to be able to come out in one piece. You can use a loose bottom tin if you've got it, but I personally prefer this method. Just creates a nice feel to it. Alright, now carefully make sure the pastry doesn't split. Reload again. Trust me, Zach, this will all be worth the wait. Okay. Once it's in, you need to trim it up, and then you need to play a little bit of artistic endeavour. And then all you do, I want to use up all the pastry, except for that bit, that's fine. Just patch it up again, do a little bit there. And there you have a rather improv base of your cornflake tart. The rest, mercifully, is easy and quick. Who's nipped the bleeding teaspoon? Oh, there we are. Couple of teaspoons of raspberry jam. Strawberry's a bit too sweet for my liking. And you need to make this as a good cover. Now, some of you were thinking, why am I not blind baking this? Well, if you're blind baking, you're baking the pastry twice. You don't ever serve raw cornflakes in this. I've heard people do that. Cornflakes must be cooked through. So, there we have it. Right, now, beautiful. Next tip, pour your cornflakes in and leave the milk out of this. It's tempting. Next up, over low heat, 50 grams of butter, not an exact science, I'm not worried about that. A bit of caster sugar, melts faster, and some golden syrup, and you literally just amalgamate the lot into the saucepan. You can use molasses if you want. Just look at that. Okay, once you've got yourself a smooth, beautiful, luscious caramel, straight over the top of the cornflakes, just sporadic. Get the corners, they're the ones that most often missed. Spread as much as you can. And that's it, job done. Straight into the oven for about 25-30 minutes at gas mark 6 until the cornflakes are just shy of charred.
The finished product. Cornflakes are just shy of charred. The vanilla and the pastry worked very, very well. Best served cold as it's got a slightly more cohesive feel to it. Other than that, just enjoy. I have been and indeed still am Colin Bunyan. Take it easy and go work too hard.